doggy. I told you I'd have all my doggies up. Hey, baby. Oh, you're so scared, aren't you? Look at me. I'm so scared, Daddy. I don't like the lights. They're scaring me. This is my cute doggy. She likes to bark at things. She's a wiener dog. See? She's a wiener dog. Without a wiener. Shouldn't have said that. Whew. Because she's a she, not a he. He's a he, she. Hey, baby. Look at her. Go wrap my hands around your feet. All right, babe. You ready to say goodbye? Goodbye. So long. Goodbye. Goodbye. I'm going up to mommy because I like her better. All right. Take off. Go. Go. Run. Run, Ruby, run. All right. That was Ruby. Where you going, Rubes? Ruby, upstairs. Oh, you're so lost. Where am I going? You might want to call her. She doesn't get down here very often. Okay, let's get through this spiral. That's enough cuteness. Now you got to deal with this ugly mug. Let's see how much this pen... Okay, inverses. Don't forget, we're going to write y equals 3 over 4x minus 9. Switch the x and the y. Just the x and the y, please. Nothing else. That's an arrow. So x is equal to 3 over 4y minus 9. I don't like fractions. You don't like fractions. So we're going to get rid of that fractions by multiplying everything through by 4. So I get 4x equals, goodbye, see ya, 3y minus 36. All right, now I just got to solve for y. So I get 4x plus 36 is equal to 3y. Divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, and I get y equals 4 over 3x plus 12. However, I got to write it in inverse notation. Inverse notation. I can't speak English today. Is equal to, so that's f inverse. Remember, that's the f inverse. 4/3 x plus 12. Whoop, done. All right. In order to solve these, you got to isolate the weird thing. So what we're going to do is you're going to get the weird thing alone. So we go x plus 14 is equal to x plus 2. Now, in order to solve these, you're going to square both sides. But square just means write twice, correct? So I get x plus 14 equals, now double distribute, kids. Please. X squared plus 4x plus 4. I'm going to toss this stuff over to the other side. So I get 0 is equal to x squared minus 10x. What the fart noise was that? We're subtracting x. So let's just do that. Subtract x. So I get minus plus 3x. And then subtract 14, I get negative 10. So I factor it x plus 5, x minus 2 equals 0. So my two answers are negative 5 and positive 2. But you know you have to check for some extraneous solutions. So if I plug a negative 5 in there, that's negative 5 plus 14 minus 2. Does that equal negative 5? Well, this is 9. And the square root of 9 is 3. So 3 minus 2, does that equal negative 5? Heck no. See ya. We still got to check 2. Maybe both of them are bogus. Generally not. So 2 plus 14 minus 2, does that equal 2? Well, this is 16. The square root of 16 is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2, and it works. It's beautiful. So there's my answer, kids, 2. Done. Now, I could solve this any way I want, but I know when I'm done, I'm going to have a negative under the radical because of this I thing right here. First thing I'm going to do is divide everything by 4. So I get x squared plus 4x plus 40 equals 0. Since this is even, I could use quadratic formula, but I don't want to. I know I can't factor it because it says in a plus bi form, so it's going to be imaginary. So I could use the quadratic formula, but I like completing the square. So I'm going to bring the 4d over, plus square, equals negative 40 plus square. Half of this is 2, so x plus 2 squared. So 4 goes here, and 4 goes here. And negative 40 plus 4 is negative 36. Now, in order to finish solving this, we take the square root. When you take the square root, you put a plus or minus. Yeah!
So I get x plus 2 is equal to plus or minus 6i. Square root of 36 is 6. The square root of negative is I. So I. I'm not done yet because I still have to get x by itself. So x is equal to negative 2. Just bring the 2 over, pop it in front. Plus or minus 6i. Woo! All right, I'm looking for perfect cubes. All right, I'm done with these perfect cube things, right? Cubes. Perfect cube that goes into 40 is negative 8. So it's negative 8 times 5. Now, because this is a cube right here, I'm looking for groups of 3. So a cubed times a. B to the 6 times b, because that's 2 groups of 3. C squared, can't do anything with it, can't get a group of 3 out of that, times d cubed. All right, let me take out my black pen. The cube root of negative 8 is negative 2. It has nothing to do with I. I is only when you take the square root of a negative. Square root, not the cube root. The cube root of negative 8 is 2. The cube root of a cubed is a. The cube root of b to the 6th is b squared. The cube root of d cubed is d. Cube roots of 5 a, b, c squared. Ka-ching! Done. Oh boy, we got some factoring to do here. Looks like a lot of factoring fraction fun. Don't look at me in that tone of voice. Seriously, you're making me mad. Yeah, you. Oh, I'm talking to you. Just because I brought my cute little dog out here, don't think I'm softy or something like that. I'll wreck you. And I'll like wrecking you, not wrecking. Whatever, shut up. That was supposed to sound tough. It didn't sound tough. Let's factor. This first one here is the difference of perfect squares. You should recognize 4 as a perfect square and 1 as a perfect square. So that's 2x and 2x. That gives you 4x squared. 1 times 1 is 1. 1's got to be minus. 1 has to be plus. This has a GCF. We're going to take out a 3x. I'm left with 2x plus 1. Remember, you have to be able to distribute 6x squared plus 3x and get back the original. If I didn't put anything here, if there was nothing there, I couldn't distribute to get back to the original. So when you take out everything, there's still something left. Here, because this is backwards, this is really backwards, I'm actually going to take out a negative 9x squared. Now, you know what? That's too confusing. Let's just take out a 9x squared. So we're going to take out a 9x squared. Well, if I take all of this away, remember, just because you took it all out doesn't mean there's not something left. It's minus. It's 1 minus, and you took a 9 and an x away from this, 1 minus x. This bottom one, this one factors pretty easily. 2x and x. Now I see that there's a 1 over here with a 1, so I'm going to put a 1 here and 5 here. Let's see, that's 10 and 1, that makes 9. Let's make this a positive and a minus, because that makes positive 10 and negative 1, which makes positive 9x. Remember, this one gets flipped. So down here, I'm going to take out a 3, and I'm left with x squared minus 1. But wait a second. X squared minus 1 could be factored to x plus 1, x minus 1. And finally, this simple, paltry, crazy factoring x and x. There is only one way to multiply to 5. It is 1 times 5. Once you have all the factoring done, then we can go and have fun crossing stuff out. 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1, 2x plus 1, 2x plus 1, x plus 5, x plus 5, x plus 1, x plus 1. Now this and this are not exactly the same. So let's take a look at this right here. This is really, if I take out a negative 1, this is really negative 1 x minus 1, switches the order. And if I distribute, that's negative x and plus 1 all over x minus 1. We like to call this the negative 1 rule. You take out, if they're exactly the same but one's backwards with minus, it really makes a negative 1. So yes, you can cancel it, but I'm going to do it in like a purple. It makes it a negative 1. So there's a negative 1 right there. Okay, negative 1. Okay, 3 goes into 9 3 times. 3 goes into 3. This x cancels with one of these x's. So if you go through and you see everything that's not canceled, the only thing left is this negative and this x. So my answer is negative x. That's it. That's all she wrote. 2 problems left, kids. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these denominators. 7, 3x, and x, and 1. Just remember, this is over 1. And I said, okay, what's the common number between these two? Okay, 21. But they also have an x in common. So this is my lowest common denominator. So what I'm going to do is, I don't like this negative here, so I'm going to put this positive, make this negative, and make this negative. And put this in parentheses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply everything by 21x, because that's the common denominator. Now by doing that, I will eliminate the need for and the annoyance of the lousy fractions, because nobody likes those. Ain't nobody like that. So 7 goes into 21 3 times. So now I have a 3x times this. So that gives me 6x squared plus 15x. Notice no more denominator. So 3 goes into 21 7 times, and the x's cancel. So I'm going to distribute a 7. So minus 35x minus 56 is equal to, here the x's cancel. So I'm going to distribute this 21. So minus 21x plus, nope, still minus 168. And nothing cancels here, so this is just plus 63x, because I just multiply those. Nothing canceled. All right, let's clean this puppy up. On the left side, I get 6x squared minus 20x minus 56. On the right side, I get 42x minus 168. Bring them over. We're going to subtract 42x, add 168. So I get 6x squared minus 40. We'll go with 62. Oh, come on. Minus 62 x plus 112. And I do 168 minus 56. I can take a 2 out. I think that's the biggest thing that comes out. 3x squared minus 31x plus 56. All right, the easiest way to multiply to 56 is 8 and 7. Let's see if I can get something like that. So I know that the numbers are both going to be negative, because this says they're both going to be the same. They're both going to be negative. So let's go 8 and 7. Let's see, that's 24 and 7, minus 24 and minus 7. Oh, that's minus 31. There we go, I got it. So my two answers are x equals 7 over 3 and x equals 8. This one's easy, x equals 8. This one we got to bring this, remember, set it equal to 0, bring the 7 over and divide by 3. So those are my two answers. All right, final problem. So the first thing I'm going to do is change pens. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is, the equation is y equals a times x squared plus b times x plus c. So we're going to take each of these points and plug them into this equation. So the first one, I'm going to plug negative 8 in for y equals, now we got to be really careful we don't make silly mistakes. A times 3 squared. When I first did this equation, I knew I had it right, and when I did it, I made a mistake, and it made me so mad. B times 3 plus c. Well, this equation becomes negative 8 equals 9a plus 3b plus c. Equation number 2, 4, that's the y value, remember this is the y value, is equal to a times negative 3 squared plus b times negative 3 plus c. So this becomes 4 is equal to 9a minus 3b plus c. And my final equation, this goes 19 goes here, is equal to a times 12 squared plus b times 12. I'm almost done, kids. Plus c. And this equation becomes 19 equals 144a squared plus 12b plus c. So that's the first step. Plug in the points and see what you got going on. The next step is to solve one of these for c. So I'm going to solve this for c by moving this over, by making it negative, and move this over, make it negative. So I get c equals negative 8 minus 9a minus 3b. So everywhere I see a c from now on, I can put that in there. So I'm going to put it into this equation right here. So 4 is equal to 9a minus 3b minus 8 minus 9a minus 3b. And this gives me 4 is equal to, the 9a's cancel. Oh, forgot something. I also have to bring this 8 over. So I'm going to bring this 8 over. I'm going to bring this 8 over to this side, make it positive. So that's 12 is equal to negative 6b. Put these together. So that means b equals negative 2. Oh, that's nice. I like when that happens. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to pop this thing into this equation. So I get 19 equals 144a squared plus 12b minus 8 minus 9a minus 3b. Excuse me. I'm going to bring the 8 over. I'm going to bring the 8 over and make this 27 is equal to 1 4. Nope, wait for it. I've got 144a squared and 9a. So that makes that, let's see, that's 135a. This should be a squared. 135. Why do I have an a squared here? Shouldn't be an a squared. Plus 9b. But didn't we find out that b was negative 2? So isn't this really 9 times negative 2, which is really negative 18? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add that 18 and I'll bring it over to the other side. So I get 45 is equal to 135 times a. Divide by 135, divide by 135, and nicely I get a equals 1/3. Must be wrong, it's a fraction. It's not. So now I know a equals 1/3. I know b equals negative 2. I just got to find c, and I'm going to use this equation right here to find it. So c is equal to negative 8 minus 9 times a, which is 1/3, minus 3 times b, which is negative 2. So this gives me c equals negative 8 minus 3 plus 6. And if I add all that up, I get c equals negative 5. All right, kids, nothing but to write the answer. And let's do it in purple. So f of x equals 1/3 x squared minus, because b is negative, minus, who's going to let me write it? Minus 2b minus 5, because c was negative 5, and that's it. There's my answer. That's all she wrote, kids. That's it. That's spiral 12 plus a dachshund.